They took my wife's grave from me, but I took their entire neighborhood. It started a week after Sarah died. I'd just come home from the cemetery, having planted a small rosebush by her headstone, when the letter arrived. It was from the Homeowners Association, a crisp, impersonal notice informing me that the unapproved horticultural addition in my front yard had to be removed. It wasn't a bush. It was a single, perfect white rose, Sarah's favorite, which I'd planted in a small pot by the door, a living memory. The notice cited a rule I'd never heard of, some obscure bylaw about uniform landscaping. I tried to explain. I called Karen, the HOA president, my voice breaking as I told her what that rose meant. She was unmoved. Rules are rules, she said, her voice dripping with condescending sympathy. We can't make exceptions. The next day, while I was out, they removed it. The pot was gone, a sterile patch of mulch in its place. Something inside me shattered. That rose was my last connection to her, a final, fragile promise. They had declared war not on my landscaping, but on my grief. So, I declared war back. I spent weeks in the county records office, my grief fueling a meticulous, all-consuming hunt. I pored over dusty zoning maps, land grants from the 1800s, and obscure property laws. And then I found it. A surveyor's error from 1922. The entire subdivision, all 200 pristine homes, was built on land that wasn't properly zoned for residential use. A tiny, forgotten clerical mistake had rendered every single property deed technically invalid. The land was still zoned for agricultural use. My lawyer's eyes widened as I laid out the evidence. He called it the legal equivalent of a tactical nuke. We filed a lawsuit. The HOA laughed at first, dismissing it as a frivolous act of a grieving man. But their laughter died when the preliminary injunction was granted, halting all property sales and construction. Panic ripped through the community. Property values plummeted overnight. Suddenly, their precious rules meant nothing. My phone rang constantly. It was Karen, her voice no longer condescending, but a frantic, desperate plea. She offered to replace the rose, to build me a memorial garden, to name a street after Sarah. I let her finish. Then I said, rules are rules, and hung up. They fought, but they had nothing. The court sided with me. The final judgment was a spectacle. The HOA was dissolved, the land had to be and every homeowner had to repurchase their property from the original land trust, which, through a series of quiet, strategic acquisitions, I now controlled. They had taken a single rose from a grieving husband. In return, I took everything. If you feel what I felt, if you understand why I did this, then give this a like. Not for me, but for her. Let this be a lesson. Never underestimate what a man is willing to do when he has nothing left to lose but a memory.